come with me to buy my van life van. This purchase was an adventure that started at 6 a.m. so I could get a ride to the metro with my aunt and then go on a 2.5-hour voyage from Alexandria to Leesburg. I don't know how people operate at 6 a.m., but apparently I don't. We've got some cheeky footage of me switching outfits and picking out a sweater, which turns out to be really important in the future. And then packing my bag as if I'm running away from home, because as I mentioned, this is a long journey, so I brought all the activities. Had to chug a little water for my health and make the executive decision that it's not getting any better. Couldn't resist the cameo of me trying on sunglasses just for the cruel irony that awaits me. Got my soldiers all lined up for battle to create my morning cup of revival. And we'll have a little ASMR moment together as I make my coffee. The first try did not pass the vibes check, so back to the lab again. I'm not the least bit ashamed to admit that this is breakfast. Got my protein, got my vegetables, and honestly, I'm just not fussed about breakfast food, so I took way too much footage of me eating. By this time, it's 6:48, and I've been told we're gonna leave at 6:50, so I'm shoveling it down and paying the price. And now my chariot awaits, so we're leaving. The second I stepped out the door, I realized not only do I definitely need a bigger coat, but it's probably gonna rain on me, and I did not need those sunglasses. That probably became a definitely as I regretted all my life decisions.
Okay, bye. Walking past all these people who checked the weather and brought umbrellas.
Oh well, we push on. The second I reached the metro station, of course I realized I forgot my smart trip, but I had just seen an advert saying you can get it in your Apple Wallet, so wha-bam, crisis averted. And the first leg of our journey was complete, so I danced it out on the platform a little bit and waited for the metro to arrive. Shout out to Sarah J. Moss for writing the Throne of Glass series and making this trip not only bearable, but pleasurable. After over an hour on the train, I finally arrived at Ashburn, just to find that it was in fact raining. Not to mention the newfound problem that the auto import shop doesn't open until 9, and it was 8:20. So I made the executive decision to call myself an Uber to a coffee shop, call it self-care, and regret nothing! I reached Goose Cup in Leesburg around 8:50, and in my excitement, ripped the earring out of my ear. This coffee shop ended up being super cute, and I sat there for a cute little 15 minutes while I ate an apple Danish and pretended to read, but actually just stared into space. Around 9:15, I decided it was time to brave the rain, panicked that I went out of the wrong exit, and then started walking through Leesburg, which turned out to be super cute. As always, I bopped my way there. And to give you some background, I actually chose this dealership because they happen to have both an extended and a normal size Ford Transit. So there was a very good likelihood that I was going to leave this dealership with the van of my dreams. So finally, after my 3-hour voyage, I arrived at Leesburg Auto Import. The extended van was just sitting there looking pretty, so while I waited for the sales guy to get his act together, I did some investigating. It took some pretty intense yoga chaturanga planks to look under the van without getting soaking wet, but it paid off because it was looking beautiful down there. We finally got the keys to be able to peek inside, and thank goodness, it is looking gorgeous. I was so scared that I was going to come all the way out here and it was going to be a piece of junk, but imagine my relief when it was actually in the best condition out of all the vehicles I had seen so far and with the best price. And look at all that space! That could be my house. I went ahead and checked all the doors and things to see if there are any sticky bits, and here is Mike, the salesman, helping me out today. And I decided it was ready for a drive.
This might be the van. Look at how spacious it is. The other one's gonna seem like an absolute hole in comparison.
Quick little bathroom break before I hit the road. And we were zooming! The big advantage to test driving in Leesburg is it was actually nice, and instead of having to test drive on 495 with tons of traffic, I got to test out the cruise control, go around a roundabout, and all sorts of fun and important things with not too much traffic.
Yo, what? First time ever parking a van. You guys gotta see this. Ah! Get out of here! I literally just pulled in. Nailed it. Unreal. If there was a car there, it would have been over, but there wasn't. What? This van life thing might actually work. But like, what's that? Don't love that.
Needless to say, I was pumped after an amazing test drive. I took a little peek at the engine just to see if I could find any red flags, but let's be honest, I don't know that much about cars. And honestly, I was feeling so great about the extended, I wasn't that interested in the normal one anymore. I thought I'd check it out just to be sure. But upon going inside, I was like, this is a dump compared to the other one. And it kind of sealed the deal.
Guys, I just test drove my future home. Now let's go negotiate.
Okay, so the tricky bit with finance, the guy tried to convince me that maybe I'd save money financing, even though the plan was to pay up front in cash. He presented a whole lot of numbers. In the end, I ended up negotiating down the cash price to way below what the financing price would have been. And then I gave my big brother a call so that I could have somebody in my life affirm my decision to spend the most money I've ever spent in one day in my entire life. Terrifying.
I'm proud of myself for actually negotiating and not just rolling over.
Once I had a price I wanted, and I knew for sure that I was going to be making a purchase, it was time to get an auto insurance quote. I decided to go with Progressive because, frankly, it's the cheapest. Then all that was left to do was sign some paperwork and wait for the wire transfer to go through. Then I went and filmed a little bit of content to keep friends, family, and fans updated on the fact that I finally achieved this huge life goal.
So my wire transfer went through, and now he's called the inspector who has to do a final inspection, sign off on the vehicle. So I'm headed to the wine bar to celebrate. Oh, and I left him a Google review because, you know, gotta give back to the people.
So I took a little walk into Leesburg to the Wine Kitchen, where not only were the staff super friendly and the place really cute, but the food was unbelievable. Like, seriously, this has to be one of the top burgers I've had in my entire life. Could not recommend more. And I think the beauty of having already spent so much money is I did not feel 1 ounce of guilt over this meal. In just under an hour, my vehicle was ready for me, so I trekked it back to Leesburg Auto Import to pick up my Hot Wheels. When I made it back to Leesburg Auto Import, one of the guys was nice enough to take a video of me receiving the keys officially from Mike, the sales guy. And everyone there was so nice. They were all congratulating me on my new ride and home. And then Mike went ahead and stuck the plates on for me. And we did a little photo shoot with a bow, because why not? And then I got myself all situated for a long drive home, because by now it was like 3 p.m., which meant I was going to hit traffic.
All right, Bluetooth's not working, but I kind of knew that was the case. And that's not expensive to fix or find a way around. But besides that, I'm about to drive home in my new van once I get the directions.
And then the plot twist you've all been waiting for.
I just got pulled over because they're saying that my license is coming up, but I'm not licensed. Woo! I've owned a white van less than an hour, and apparently I already look sus as fuck. It's gonna take forever to get home. False alarm, I'm licensed. Duh. I think he was new. He seemed like a bit of a rookie cop, so.
After well over an hour of driving.
At long last, home sweet home. I'm actually so excited for my aunt's neighborhood group chat to pop off about this. Look at her, she's huge. Aww.
Soon after, my little cousin and aunt got home from school and work, and I gave them a little tour of my new house and van. And next thing you knew, the whole family was out there just checking things out. It was really cute.
Look at my house.
So thanks for following along my journey and buying Gertie the Catmobile. And I hope you stick around for the rest of the stories, because Lord knows this is just the beginning.